One Zambia, One Nation. The headlines. Vice President Nalumango urges women to take advantage of different empowerment programs. National Assembly launches the Zambia Parliamentary Caucus on post-legislative scrutiny. Manyinga District to get first ever boarding school. Plus Kunda Malaila traditional ceremony preparations on course. Welcome to Zanis News. My name is Kafula Salamba and my sign language interpreter is Joas Shikombwe. The news in detail. Vice President Mtale Nalumango has urged Zambian women to work towards the attainment of the international targets on issues focusing on the empowerment of women. Ms. Nalumango says women must strive to achieve Agenda 2063 of the African Union and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals for a better Zambia and Africa. More in this report.
The Zambian chapter of the African Women Leaders Network, AWLIN, a United Nations UN-initiated Pan-African movement, is holding its very first ever national conference. The two-day conference, which is being held under the theme Women, Unite, Connect and Lead, will focus on various topics, including the participation of women at various levels of governance. Vice President Mtale Nalumango officially opened the conference with a call on Zambian women to contribute towards the Sustainable Development Goals 2030 and Agenda 2063.
Collective targets that depict women's empowerment for a better Africa are often framed within broader development agendas, such as the African Union's Agenda 2063 and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. These targets focus on improving women's social, economic, and political status, with the ultimate goal of achieving gender equality and inclusive development across the continent. It is for this reason that I wish to encourage the women of Zambia to contribute positively to these collective targets for a better Zambia and a better Africa.
Speaking at the same event, UN Resident Coordinator Beatrice Mutali stated that AWLIN Zambia chapter needs to keep gender issues high on the national agenda.
The AWLIN Zambia chapter needs to be operationalized in a way that allows it to be sustainable and keep the gender issues high in the national agenda for the long term. Through the demonstrated leadership vision and the roles of AWLIN pioneers, the AWLIN Zambia chapter will carry the torch forward to ensure that the leadership space is open for women, young and old, from all faiths, backgrounds, all tribes, and all political affiliations.
And Irish ambassador to Zambia, Brona Carr, disclosed that the European country is supporting the United Nations system in Zambia to a tune of over 52 million kwacha in a program created to empower women and girls.
Ireland believes that gender transformation that seeks to address the root causes and underlying gender inequality in Zambia can be a reality. That is why we are supporting the Office of the UN Resident Coordinator and other UN agencies in Zambia in a new programme promoting women and girls' empowerment and significantly contributing to the reduction of gender-based violence across the entire country.
Mtalekani for Zanis News in Lusaka.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, says it has noted with concern the public discussion around Article 52 of the Amendment 2016 Constitution of Zambia, which relates to the nomination procedure. ECZ chairperson Mwangala Zalomis notes that the discussions have focused on sub-articles as opposed to the whole Article 52. Ms. Zalomis added that the entire Article 52 of the Constitution is key to the operations of the Commission and the execution of nominations. She said this during a media briefing on the orientation of the Electoral Reform Technical Committee on the provincial stakeholder engagement meetings in Lusaka today. Ms. Zalomis noted that the Commission is aware of the challenges that Article 52, Clause 6 pauses in the implementation of nominations and the electoral process. She added that in cases where Article 52, Clause 6 has been invoked, the Commission has had no option but to cancel the nomination and call for fresh elections.
The Commission has taken note of the public discussion, a discussion that is in the public domain, and that is around Article 52 of the Constitution of Zambia, Amendment Act number 2 of 2016, which relates to the nomination procedure. I think it's important for us as a commission to address this issue because the institution, apart from the courts, the institution that interprets those parts of the Constitution is the Electoral Commission. We are mandated by the Constitution to be responsible for the conduct of the elections. Where do we get our raison d'etre? Where do we get it? It's from the Constitution. Where do we get the authority? It's for the Constitution. We take this conduct very, very seriously, the conduct to execute the elections very seriously, and it's only the Constitution and the appended laws, the subsidiary laws, the regulations that empower us to conduct the elections. And after we do that, if anybody is unhappy with what we are doing, then they go to the courts. Now, let me just spend a little bit of time on this Article 52, which is in public domain. And I wish to remind the people that a constitution it's meant for an ordinary person. It's not meant for us lawyers only. The ordinary person has to understand that constitution. It has to be readable. It has to be understood. It has to be simplified so that when you read, you understand what you want. Because law is the spirit of the people at any given time. That's what it should be. It should be for you people, for us, for every Zambian. The Commission has observed that the discussion have focused on sub-articles as opposed to the whole of Article 52. And that article, the concentration is on Article 52.6. The entire Article 52 of the Constitution is key to the operations of the Commission and the execution of a key process, that is nominations. You can't be president, you can't be a parliamentarian, you can't be a councillor, you can't be a mayor, you can't be a chair of the council secretary or council chairman if you don't go through the process as envisaged, as contained in Article 52.
And National Assembly Deputy Speaker Malungo Chisangano says making laws alone is not enough for good governance. Ms. Chisangano notes that the process of analyzing alongside scrutinizing laws reinforces democracy as well as public trust in the country. The Deputy Speaker said this when officially launched the Zambia Parliamentary Caucus on post-legislative scrutiny at Parliament Building today. More in the following report.
The National Assembly formed the Zambian Parliamentary Caucus on post-legislative scrutiny in March 2024. The caucus, which is a voluntary group, consists of members of parliament, whose aim is to ensure that enacted laws are effective. Speaking when she officially launched the Zambian Parliamentary Post-Legislative Caucus, First Deputy Speaker Malungo Chisangano reminds lawmakers that it is imperative to monitor the impact of the laws they make.
Just making laws in and of itself is not enough. I say so because oftentimes when we are making laws, we focus on ensuring that a particular legislation is enacted. Of course, the intent of every legislation is to create a governance environment that ensures that ultimately the people benefit. Nonetheless, very few times do we go back to look at the impact of the legislation we pass. The formation of this parliamentary caucus on post-legislative scrutiny marks a critical milestone in this process. The caucus will serve as a dedicated platform within Parliament to champion post-legislative scrutiny, foster collaboration among MPs, and engage with stakeholders in assessing the impact of legislation.
And Nalolo Constituency Member of Parliament, Imanga Wamunyima, is the caucus chairperson.
This caucus, as it transitions into a committee of parliament, will help the National Assembly execute its mandate, and as our clerk has mentioned, this is well in its strategic plan. Madam Speaker, allow me to extend an olive branch to members of parliament to take interest in the activities of this caucus.
Meanwhile, the Center for Innovative Development sees the caucus as a critical tool for evaluating the success of laws.
By working with Parliament, we ensure that legislation not only addresses immediate concerns, but continues to foster its purpose long after has been enacted.
Kasuka Sakaimbo reporting, Lusaka.
Also in the news, Zambia Correctional Service Commissioner General Frederick Chilukutu has flagged off the harvesting of the 600 hectares of wheat across the country. The flagging off took place at Womboshi Correctional Farm in Chisamba District, where Mr. Chilukutu disclosed that the gesture is in response to President Hakainde Hichilema's directive that both the defense and security wings should produce enough food to feed the nation. Details in this report.
In response to the presidential directive to defense and security wings to upscale agricultural production to promote food security in the nation, the Zambia Correctional Service has started implementing the directive. Zambia Correctional Service Commissioner General Frederick Chilukutu says the service has so far flagged off the wheat harvesting at the Momboshi Correctional Farm in Samba District.
7 months back to harvest our first crop at Momboshi farm. We have done here 600 hectares in total of wheat, and we're here because of our excitement and to say thank you to the community that has given us this project. Also to the Ministry of Agriculture for the leadership that they have expressed on us. We have been given a directive as the defense and security wings by His Excellency the President to respond to the drought that has hit our country, and we need to upscale our production of grain in terms of maize, in terms of wheat. There's also a target at national level that in the next 10 years, Zambia should begin to produce 10 million tons of maize and somewhere in the region of 1 to 3 million tons of wheat. We want to say that we have begun that journey to respond to the vision of the country. We want to see to it that we continue from now. There is a crisis in the country. The drought has been severe on the country. The power, we didn't expect that we would manage to harvest anything at all. Hence the excitement that we're expressing today.
The Zambia Correctional Service Deputy Commissioner Director, Farms, Crispin Kaonga, shared the extent of the agriculture production.
That all the 700 hectares are covered under irrigation. Commissioner General, sir, I wish to thank you for the effort and the resources that were put into this development. Today we stand to witness the crop that was never envisaged that would be grown out of this land. But because of your effort and encouragement, sir, here we are, and we stand to sing a song that we are responding to the directive of His Excellency the President.
Zambia Correctional Service Director in charge of Irrigation Development, Emmanuel Skazwe, said the power deficit the country is faced with is affecting the full agriculture production.
In terms of tonnage for wheat, most likely we might be able to get about 7 tons per hectare. Yes, we could have gotten more, but due to erratic power shortages and outages, and also other conditions which are beyond us. We are unable to get to the highest maximum of maybe 9 tons per hectare.
These measures by the Zambia Correction Service will enhance food security in the country. Sunday for Zanis in Samba District.
Ministry of Information and Media Director spokesperson Henry Kapata says government has done well in creating an enabling environment for investors to conduct business in various sectors of the economy. Mr. Kapata says the manufacturing of lithium car batteries at Zambia-China Jiangxing Multi-Facility Economic Zone will not only cater for Zambia but also for the SADC region. Zanis reports that Mr. Kapata was speaking when he toured the battery manufacturing plant and the transformer manufacturing and repairing plant at the Jiangxing Multi-Facility Economic Zone in Chibombo District. More in this report.
The Zambia-China Jiangxi Multi-Facility Economic Zone has finally positioned itself as a vibrant of manufacturers. With an initial investment of $30 million United States dollars, the car lithium battery manufacturing will start operating by the end of October this year, where over 3,000 jobs are likely to be created.
The company is about to commence the fully production of the batteries and these other ones that I mentioned earlier, and then after the normal production, we are yet to create more than, or at least 3,000 jobs for the locals.
The zone also hosts a copper wire and cable manufacturing plant, which has an initial investment of $10 million United States dollars.
To put $10 million US dollars investment here, and to produce cables and wires. Also, we want to cherish the opportunity of China and Zambia.
Zamtrans Electro Limited has invested $7 million United States dollars in producing and repairing electricity transformers.
Limited, we are basically manufacturing company for transformers, power transformers and distribution transformers. We manufacture, supply and repair as well.
Media and Information Director spokesperson Henry Kapata toured the facility and he's impressed with the levels of investment.
So you can see how hyperactive the district has become. You can see this project, the light it has brought. The battery, the lithium battery is talking about 3,000 jobs. We are crossing over to the transformer. They are talking about a good 100. When they are done, they should be crossing somewhere around 300, 400. We have seen the tractor, provision for the tractor, the fertilizer, soybeans, everything is here. So what next is to drive the agenda, and this is the agenda of government. We have a pilot, the President of the Republic of Zambia, that has been talking about it. So when this was commissioned, a lot of people have been passing through the road, but not necessarily coming inside to see what is happening. So in short, government is extremely humbled, excited that it is happening in Chibombo.
Reporting for Zanis News in Chibombo, I'm Tishuke Kaunda.
We take our first break, and still to come is education news.
The Issue is a program that looks at topical issues happening in the country. Watch The Issue every Friday at 19:30 hours, only on Zanis TV, Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH on Topstar. Don't miss.
Welcome back, and on our education segment, construction works on the first ever boarding secondary school in Manyinga district of Northwestern Province at a cost of over 10 million kwacha is set to commence soon. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony of the Thomas Akatoka boarding school named after Senior Chief Sukufele of Manyinga district and Kabombo district, Northwestern Province, Minister Robert Lihefu has urged local contractors to ensure they deliver quality projects. Here's a report.
Northwestern Province Minister Robert Lihefu has expressed disappointment on the quality of works done by some local contractors contracted to work on CDF projects in Manyinga district. Mr. Lihefu, who is also a Manyinga Member of Parliament, has urged local contractors to ensure they improve their skills in order to deliver quality projects. The Member of Parliament was speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony of the Thompson Akatoka Boarding Secondary School to be constructed at a total of 10,622,867 kwacha.
Here, it is named after your Royal Highness. That is the respect that this administration of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema has. That's why you have seen a number of Royal Highnesses given also accommodation, because we know that this government cannot do without Royal Highnesses, because you are our partner. So I urge you to support this government as we'll be constructing this facility, because there will be maybe some people who come here and start disturbing the contractor and the Manyinga Town Council.
And Manyinga District Commissioner Brenda Mukwakwa highlighted the various programs government has implemented to address the hunger situation in the country.
52 tons of white maize, translating to 7,040 bags so far under the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit. This maize was meant to alleviate the hunger situation and provide relief to those who are most in need. The aged, chronically ill, and the households with vulnerable but viable people were also targeted.
To the people of Manyinga who gave us the vote to deliver. We came into offices to deliver development into Manyinga district. And today, what we are witnessing is the development that we are promising the people.
The groundbreaking ceremony, the handover of empowerment grants and loans, and the earth-moving equipment and Manyinga Town Council has showcased government's commitment to developing the district and improving the well-being of the people in the area. Chisenga Mtakashana Miluko reporting for Zanis News, Manyinga District, Northwestern Province.
Schools in Mwinilunga district of Northwestern Province have been encouraged to consider installing alternative sources of energy in their institutions. District Education Board Secretary Debbie Jipila says alternative renewable sources of energy will ensure a steady supply of power amidst adverse effects of climate change. Details in this report.
The current energy crisis the country is facing require energy solutions away from climate-dependent power sources such as hydro, clean energy sources such as biogas come in as reliable and sustainable options to this challenge. Kanyama Boarding Secondary School in Mwilunga District is already testing the benefits of biogas from a pilot biodigester built at the school.
When it comes to electricity bills, we usually pay 15,000 baht per term just to manage run the school. This is in addition to what we use as HE department. So the coming of the biogas, I think the cost of bills will be reduced as well.
Instead of us cutting down trees, we are going to use cow dung and producing energy. And that in itself is going to help mitigate climate change.
The construction of a biogas digester is a Rural Electrification Authority (REA) pilot project targeting 3 schools in the province. District Education Board Secretary Debbie Jipila wants schools in the district to embrace the biodigester technology as an alternative source of energy.
And such initiatives, this is the way to go if we are to run away from those effects of droughts. So for me, I would say it happened for the people so that we start to think outside. We start to bring on board new innovations and ideas. So like this, you can't depend on the ZESCO because of load shedding.
Away from issues of energy, the school has equally ventured into production unit activities.
We have acquired these assets and they're really helping us as a school, because each time we want to grind maize, we grind at our own time. Each time we want to grind sample, we grind at our own time. And the cost of transport has been basically reduced, completely eliminated.
Reporting for Zanis, Obed Dilijim in Mwinilunga District, Northwestern Province.
Still on education news, Ndola Central Member of Parliament Frank Tayali has called on parents to take advantage of the free education policy. Mr. Tayali, who is also Minister of Transport and Logistics, said this when he commissioned a 1x3 classroom block at Chibolele Combined School, which was constructed using the Constituency Development Fund's CDF. Details in this report.
Free education policy has yielded good results in most schools, as Chibolele Combined School has enrolled over 3,000 learners. With an influx of learners, the school has been grappling with learning space. But government, through constituency development funds, has constructed a 1x3 classroom block. Ndola Central Member of Parliament Frank Tayali has commissioned the classroom block.
It is only through education, only through educating our children, that this country will stand a chance to be able to provide that necessary manpower that will be required to support your government's ambitious plan of being able to once again take Zambia back into a middle-income, prosperous nation. So the call on all parents out there that are fond of sending their children to go and sell on the streets must come to an end. Do not condemn your children. Do not condemn your children to a future without opportunities.
The classrooms are already equipped with desks so that no pupil sits on the floor.
In his recent address to Parliament, the President of the Republic of Zambia said the free education policy is helping curb early marriages and teen pregnancies. This classroom block was built at a cost of over 1 million kwacha. These are public funds that should be utilized well. Our role as leaders and residents is to complement the President's vision by ensuring that we take our responsibilities seriously. To the residents of this area, this classroom block is an answer to the challenge you have had for several years.
We had a directive concerning no child should sit on the floor. With his coming on board, he helped us to bring a lot of desks. We are still receiving and we are very, very happy. We are a proud district because no child is sitting on the floor.
The learners and teachers are happy to receive a new classroom block.
But this infrastructure will be very carefully taken care of and jealously guarded. I would like to also take this opportunity to make a humble request through the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, to your government for the construction of a school laboratory, the school hall, and the completion of this 1x3 classroom block.
Learners have appealed to the Member of Parliament to address issues such as lack of science laboratory and electricity. Nelly Bota for Zanis in Ndola.
More on our education segment. The Zambia Association of Parents for Children with Disabilities has expressed concern that a significant number of children have continued to face challenges that hinder them from progressing. The organization is also worried that most children with disabilities enroll late due to challenges in mobility and stigma, among others. The association has since enrolled 164 children with disabilities in early education in Chadiza district of Eastern Province under its Onse Ana Apunzile project. Details in the following report.
Like they have said, access to education is a human right. However, children with disabilities face a lot of challenges that not only delays their enrollment but also hinders their progression in school. The Zambia Association of Parents for Children with Disabilities and other stakeholders advocating for inclusiveness have raised these concerns.
Zambia had around 113,698 learners with disabilities attending primary schools.
and only 23,804 attending secondary schools. There is a very huge gap there. Over 90-something thousand, they don't progress to secondary school, and thereafter even tertiary education.
Learners are not attending schools because they do not have assistive devices. Assistive devices, we're talking about issues of wheelchairs. For example, if a school within 5 kilometers, for this parent, this mother to carry this child to and from school every day, it means their economic activities are being affected.
This is also a concern to government as it is intervening to address the situation.
The government has developed a new education curriculum. We believe the gravitation towards more skilled-oriented curriculum with alternative pathways will help persons with disabilities that have been off. With this new robust education policy, government will ensure that clear, inclusive education principles are actualized.
To complement these efforts, Zambia Association of Parents for Children with Disabilities is implementing a project dubbed Onseana Apunzile.
So we are implementing this project in 6 communities of Chadiza. Our target before the year ends, we're supposed to enroll 270 children with disabilities.
These efforts have been appreciated by the Zambia Agency of Persons with Disabilities.
The organization is doing its part by helping children with disabilities to go to school, and it is also helping community to understand and know to say that a child with a disability has the right also to go to school like any other child.
Abigail Kashweka reporting in Chipata.
We take another break. Still to come is CDF segment. Stay tuned.
How I Made It is a program that delves into the many success stories of different people from all walks of life. Watch How I Made It on Zanis TV every Thursday at 18:30 hours on the Topstar channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH.
Welcome back. And on our CDF segment, Sesheke Member of Parliament Romeo Kangombe has officially launched construction works of drainages in the Central Business District under 2024 Constituency Development Fund CDF allocation. The construction work has been awarded to Multiplex Contractors and Suppliers Limited Company at a cost of about 4,600,000 kwacha. Details in the following report.
It looks like a man-made lake in the middle of the central business area of Sesheke town. This stagnant water is as a result of a heavy downpour which occurred for only few hours. Sesheke district in Western Province is one district without drainages in the central business district. Nevertheless, this will be a thing of the past as the area member of parliament has come to the residents' rescue.
And today we are here in line with our plan, in line with our mandate, that we respond to this problem that has been with us for a very long time to ensure that we do a permanent drainage that will stand the test of time.
The groundbreaking is witnessed by Sesheke District Commissioner, Sesheke District Council Chairperson, and Sesheke District Council Secretary, among others.
The guest of honor, sir, it is my pleasure today to be part and parcel of this groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the drainage in the Central Business District, CBD, a project which has been funded under the 2024 Constituency Development Fund.
The Central Business District CBD has been in the recent past experiencing floods whenever we have heavy rainfall. Ladies and gentlemen, with coming of the drainage system in the to the CBD, this problem will be a thing of the past.
The genesis of the construction works of the drainages in the Central Business District has elated many residents.
We really thank God that today we are being assured that what has been launched, it will be implemented, and we'll be very happy as Sesheke people. You know, Sesheke is a border town, and it's our desire to see the face of Sesheke changing.
With only few weeks to the onset of the rain season, the Central Business Area will no longer hold volumes of water once the works are completed. Victor Mala, reporting for Zanis News in Sesheke District of Western Province.
Eastern Province Minister Peter Perry says preparations for the 2024 Kunda Malaila traditional ceremony of the Kunda-speaking people of Mambwe District are progressing well. Speaking to Zanis in an interview, the minister said the preparations for the ceremony, which is scheduled for Saturday, 21st September 2024, are on course. Mr. Perry disclosed that President Hakainde Hichilema is expected in the district to grace the occasion, as well as commission the district hospital. Details in the following report.
They have come out in numbers to witness the procession of Senior Chief Nsefu of the Kunda-speaking people of Mambwe District in Eastern Province. The procession of the traditional leader from his palace through the villages to the Luwaneni Cultural Heritage Center is an indication that time to celebrate the Kunda Malaila ceremony is near. Provincial Minister Peter Perry shares on how preparations for the ceremony are progressing.
We are more than ready for the ceremony here in Malambo constituency, Mambwe district. On Saturday, actually, His Excellency the President is coming to grace the occasion. So we are very much prepared. As you can see, we are doing now some final touches around the arena. And at the same time, His Excellency the President is going to commission the district hospital for Mambwe district. The public should expect a lot of fun around here. The cultural heritage of the Kunda people will be displayed here on this podium here, which is well designed so that everyone can see the dances and also the history of the migration of the Kunda people to where we are here, Luwaneni area.
The minister also had a piece of advice for the public.
So I would just want to urge our people, we are coming here to celebrate the ceremony of the Kunda-speaking people, not to do politics around this area. And we urge all political parties not even to try by all means to wear any political regalia, because this is a traditional ceremony, not a party function or a political function.
The 2024 Kunda Malaila traditional ceremony will be held this Saturday, the 21st of September 2024. Shilika Chabalengula for Zanis in Mambwe District, Eastern Province.
Now, Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, CEC Director General Muwe Mungulu says the commission has so far received about 100,000 applications worth 30 billion kwacha. Dr. Mungule notes that this is against 1.2 billion kwacha funding in the last 16 years. He disclosed this during a community town hall engagement meeting held in Solwezi, Northwestern Province. Wupe Sendwa gives us more in this report.
Now, are you telling us that maybe you don't really focus on those that have applied before, or maybe you just focus on those that have applied based on that particular advocate in that particular area? And this is the reason why most of the people get frustrated.
I'd like to know, on behalf of the youth who are suffering, both women and youth, how much you have allocated for Northwestern Province.
It's the failure for you to generate money other than receive funding from government.
These are sentiments from some of the citizens who have applied for funding from the Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, CEEC, but have not been successful. What they are not aware of is that CEEC has a backlog of loan applications of over 100,000 interested citizens against limited resources. CEEC Director General Muwe Mungule has since held a community sensitization meeting in Solwezi where he asked the citizens to become ambassadors and influence more stakeholders for funding.
Inception, the Commission has been getting funding only from government. But the Act provides that we could get funding also from other sources. But that has not worked. We are implementers, and we depend on financing. If we had all the money, we would fund all the projects. 2022, 2023, just to share with you additional insights, we got more than 100,000 applications to the tune of 30 billion budget. Meaning, don't blame us as the Commission. You need to understand what the problem is.
Dr. Mongole further called on non-beneficiaries to pay back so that more clients can access financing.
Denying anyone any opportunity, but we do not encourage the poor low in county. We don't encourage people turning a loan facility into a political arena. We will not encourage that. Those of us that are here are ambassadors for the many of our people in Northwestern Province.
And the Northwestern Chamber of Commerce has embraced opportunities that foster economic growth.
Failing in our role as a chamber if we do not embrace these partnerships that support economic development. We'll be failing in our role as a chamber if we do not embrace these opportunities that present themselves to us.
Wupesendo for Zanis in Solwezi, Northwestern.
Also in the news, 80 women have been empowered with goats and an additional 80 women have been empowered with chickens in Zimba district through the We Effect Zambia Women Empowerment Program. Speaking in an interview, Zimba District Women Association Project Coordinator Oli Pamlenga says the women were empowered through the Pass On project that is being implemented by Heifa International Zambia. Wekumelo Sitali has more in this report.
They say empowering a woman is empowering the whole community. It is for this reason that We Effect Zambia, through its implementing partners, has empowered Zimba women with goats and chickens to improve their livelihood. Oli Pamlenga is Zimba District Women Association's project coordinator.
80 beneficiaries who got 3 goats each, females only. And there were 4 males which were given to the groups, but the groups were 4. We were also given chickens, where 40 beneficiaries got them. Each beneficiary was getting 8 chickens. We gave away those chickens in 2023, August. And now 2024, we managed again to give away to 40 beneficiaries with the same number.
Ms. Mlenga has commended We Effect Zambia for prioritizing empowering women in our district.
This project has done a lot to the people of Zimba. We visited many households where we had gone monitoring. The people have changed. Their living standards have changed. They even look different from the way they were before we started.
This gesture has elated the beneficiaries.
Impongo zyotatwe so ezimpongo zangu zyotatwe yomwe irada yanda kuzibamba mburi riyo ndubakandisya so ndirirumbidde maningi ku project A
munkukumbekozo ndijisi ndakazikumbya zyakahura ndidasambala maji ndidasambala nkuku so bumi bwakachinchanganda maji alyo ndamana kusambala ndilawula misamu yacho ya nkuku achakudya ndatalira akusambala akupa bana basijuko.
Wakumelo Stali reporting for Zanis in Zimba District, Southern Province.
Well, that's all we had for you on Zanis News. But before we go, let's take a look at the stories that made headlines. Vice President Nalumango urges women to take advantage of different empowerment programs. National Assembly launches the Zambia Parliamentary Caucus on post-legislative scrutiny. Manyinga District to get first ever boarding school. Plus Kunda Malaila traditional ceremony preparations on course. Thank you so much for watching Zanis News. My name is Kafala, and on behalf of my sign language interpreter, Joas Shikombwe, and the entire production crew, it's thank you so much and stay tuned.